Wetlands are areas that are either permanently or seasonally flooded by water. The types of wetlands are billabongs, bogs, coral reefs, estuaries, floodplains, lagoons, lakes, rivers, marshes, seagrass beds, and swamps. Wetlands are a distinct ecosystem and can be distinguished from other bodies of water due to the vegetation of aquatic plants. Wetlands are known to be home to a wide range of animal and plant life. These animals and plants have adapted to these wetlands over long periods of time due to the moist conditions. Apart from the beauty and biodiversity wetlands offer, wetlands also have an environmental, social and economic impact by improving water quality, absorption of pollutants, minimizing the impact of floods and protection shores from degradation. For these reasons alone, wetlands should matter to everyone, and we all need to learn how to conserve these wetlands as our population grows.
According to the most recent Australian Bureau of Statistics population projections, the Australian population will only increase within the coming years. And with 85% of Australia's total population already living within 50 kilometres to some form of coastal region, is putting alarming pressure on urban and coastal wetlands. These pressures include changes to natural water flow, such as man-made barriers and pollution, direct habitat loss, such as housing and commercial development, disturbance of acid sulfate soils, fishing and intertidal harvesting, growing use of coastal areas for food production, such as aquaculture, introduction of exotic species, such as weeds, pests and domestic pets, loss of cultural values due to wetland degradation, and low levels of recognition and understanding of what is culturally significant.
In Australia before non-Aboriginal settlement, it was said that wetlands were thriving because of Aboriginal land practices. All wetlands were seen as a significant part of an Aboriginal community's culture as it was used for food, recreation and teachings. After non-Aboriginal settlement, it is estimated that 50% of wetlands have been degraded, destroyed or completely lost. This estimate may be even higher when it comes to certain wetland types. Although this is an alarming rate, with proper management there is a high chance of sustaining and improving the remaining wetlands.
The Gudea River wetlands has already lost an area of 75%. The landmass of the Macquarie Marshes has declined by 40 to 50%, and freshwater wetlands in Sydney alone have been completely destroyed by 50%. For many reasons this has occurred is due to clearing of native vegetation, ecosystem disturbance, floodplain drainage, flood mitigation, groundwater extractions, natural droughts, and non-native animals being introduced. This is not an opinion, but the hard truth. These are all based on many years of research by multiple scientists and people working within the field.
There are now many ways in which the Australian government are trying to reverse the trend of dying wetlands. The New South Wales Wetlands Management Policy was the first major program released in 1996. This policy provided people with the best management practices when dealing with wetlands, focusing on those who had the responsibility of wetland management. It is also consisted of a strict criterion of approved activities. The Water Management Act 2000 was later introduced, and this was to provide protection and restoration of all water sources. This act was to ensure land that was occupied with water was to be protected at all costs, and when possible not purposely degraded. This act also had a focus on groundwater ecosystems.
Just like Australia, the wetlands in Vietnam are under threat of being lost. With 37% of the country's total landmass being classified as wetlands, it is quite alarming that many of these areas have reduced in size. This is due to pollution, degradation, and unsustainable use of the areas. Many parts, especially in the Mekong region, have been converted into rice paddy fields, further destroying the actual use of a wetland. Conservation efforts are continually ongoing in Vietnam to try and persevere these wetlands. However, with most funding coming from local levels, there just is never enough to go around to create a massive difference. So at the moment, the wetlands in Vietnam are still on the decline.
Wetlands are not only beautiful to admire, but they are a necessity for our natural environment. Certain animals and plants thrive when our wetlands are given the chance to grow and prosper. As for us, wetlands provide a sustainable future. It is a real shame that urbanization has now destroyed a massive part of our wetlands. However, with the legislation and regulations that protect or minimize detrimental impact on wetlands put in place, and education of our people, as a society, we can start to realize and understand the need for wetlands to exist and continue to see the wetlands once again become alive and an active place within our society. Australia, as a country, has the necessary resources to achieve this and should even help other countries such as Vietnam protect their own wetlands, because in the end, we all need wetlands for a better future.
Isn't it about time we all thought about saving our wetlands?